What up, 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 what up? What's going on out there, America? It's your boy, it's Rod and Don in the Brooklyn Bears Ball Sports Talk Show. You know how we do, you know how this goes. So we got a lot of more football to talk about. We're going to talk about them Niners and that L they took. All right, we ain't get to cover that, but we're going to talk about it tonight. We ain't forget. You know, it's already Thursday, usually already on to the following week. You know, as Belichick would say, it's on to Indianapolis or whatever, but not yet, not yet. We ain't moving on just yet. We're going to talk about that L. But before we talk about that L and some more football coming up this weekend, of course, NBA action. We got it all. My Lakers took a bad L, but, you know, it's only game one. We still got 4,000 more games left to go. But before we get into all this good stuff, we need you to like, share. We need you to subscribe. We need you to hit that thumb button. We need you to hit that notification button for those on YouTube, Facebook. Continue to talk back to us. Come on, put your comments in the algorithms there. I mean, in the comment section there. Push the algorithms for us, man. And we just want to thank everybody for supporting the reels and your comments and all the good stuff. My boy Don's been doing the work, man. He's been putting it in and keeping us afloat during the week until we get these lives out, man. And I appreciate it, D. What's going on with you, bro?
Oh man, it's all good. We suffered a bad loss, but I'm feeling good about the overall situation. We'll bounce back. You know, that's what winning teams do. They don't sulk. They move on. This is a must win for us this week, though.
Oh, it's a must.
What's your record?
We're 4-2.
Okay.
We're 4-2.
And a team in your division. Are you winning your division? We'll get to this, but I'm just saying.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
Your shoes tied to, or your.
Right. But okay, no problem. Right. We're gonna get into it, man. Without further ado, man, let's get into it. Okay, we have a game. Week 8 has already started. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Buffalo Bills. But Rod insists on talking about last week. I mean, if you want to continue and talk about last week, we could talk about last week. The 49ers suffered a bad loss. They lost to Minnesota. And Kirk Cousins played the game of his life. And maybe because this is the last year of his contract, and maybe he was auditioning and he chose to show out on us for this audition of potential suitors, maybe next year and moving forward. We just weren't in sync. CMC played. There was talk he has an oblique injury, but he still played. And he was effective. I think overall he was effective. He didn't have one of his signature CMC games, but he was pretty effective. He scored 16 games in a row with the touchdown. I think he scored 2 touchdowns to be exact. But overall, our secondary was suspect. We weren't tackling properly. They allowed, I can't say we allowed. Minnesota's wide receivers torched us. Addison, he had a really, really good game. TJ Hawkinson, their tight end, he balled out. And there's one more receiver. I think his name is Bourne or something like that. But he had a really good game as well. Right. So overall, we dropped 2 games in a row. Now we find out why Purdy over the course of the fourth quarter was playing so poorly. He threw interception and 2 picks. And he was concussed. I mean, now we understand. It all makes sense now. He was concussed. Listen.
It's already
no. We're up. We're up, and we're going. He was concussed.
I can't believe this.
I've never had a concussion before, right? But they did a movie.
Don is only playing, by the way. He really doesn't mean that.
Will Smith did this movie of concussion about this. I think he was a African doctor that stressed concussions and CTE and all of the effects. When you're concussed, you don't know what's going on. I mean, he met purple and red, depending. Those colors can be very similar. I mean, when you're concussed.
Oh my God.
I don't know if your color sequence is thrown off. These things can happen. They can happen. But we do understand why, to a degree. He tried to do the tush push, and everything ain't for everybody. He suffered a head-to-head a collision with the tush push, and he was concussed. And as a result, he threw 2 interceptions and we lost the game. No excuses. After all that, no excuses. All that,
right? No excuses.
But I think overall, this is our get right. Like, yeah, we lost. Now, and I'll say this: everybody was, and I'm going to pass it to you. Everybody was super hard on Purdy about, he's a system quarterback, and then everybody started turning their back on him because the team lost 2 games. But keep in mind, if you want to put anything, first of all, last week's loss to Minnesota was really on the defense. It really wasn't on Purdy. Yeah, he contributed to the overall loss of the team, but it wasn't on Purdy. And then if we talk about the loss to the Cleveland Browns, Purdy got us in position to win, right? So it wasn't on him. So if you think about it, it wasn't the quarterback play that really lost us the game. It's never one play. You know what I mean? It's a culmination of failures on different parts in order to lose a game. I don't know why you say this all the time. When I point out Dak's deficiencies and issues that he has, you said, well, it wasn't on him. It was this person contributed. And as a result, a team wins or loses. This isn't tennis. This isn't golf. This is a team sport. So Purdy hasn't played as great as he played in his first 10 games, right? But I'll say this, the Cleveland game definitely wasn't on him. He put us in position, that last drive put us in position to win by a field goal. Moody missed it. This week he was concussed, and you see the results. What do you say?
Where do I even begin? America, for those that don't know, and if anybody's been watching our show for any length of time, Donald is a comedian. So with Donald being a comedian, I have to say that he really brought out his comedic genius today by talking about Purdy being concussed and that being the reason for 2 very bad interceptions he threw. Okay. When I talk about this with Dak, Donald refutes my whole theory. Okay. When I talk about a team loss and a culmination of plays and how a game is not lost just on one play, although one play can be impactful, but yet it's a lot of things that leads up to it. Donald wants to hear nothing about it. But conveniently tonight, he will surmise this L that the 49ers took and somehow just find other elements and dissect this L to bring out other pertinent points, at least as he sees it, as to why the Niners lost this game. Look, let me tell you something, America. Yes, I agree with one thing Donald said, okay? That basically the defense lost this game for them in large part, okay? Because we didn't expect them to give up as many yards as they did to Kirk Cousins in the air as much as they did. All right. We know Kirk Cousins can ball, but he's never good on primetime, right? That's always the knock on him. Monday Night Football, or this is just the worst time to see Kirk Cousins play. But he showed out on one of the most premier defenses in the league. So the thing is that the secondary got torched. And I've been telling y'all, America, we all know the 49ers Achilles heel is that secondary. Ward is trash. He's always been trash. And the secondary's been trash. Because of particularly them corners, because they get bailed out by the pass rush, okay? The pass rush of the 49ers is what bails them out. And that is the piece. If you get the ball out quick and get it out fast, you'll have some success or at least be very competitive against the 49ers. And clearly the Vikings did that. And I thought they played very well. I think Purdy just had very bad throws in that game, and the 2 picks was clearly his fault. Don't know what he saw, what he was looking at, and
he was concussed. He didn't know what he was concussed.
Well, America, let me go back to this again. Donald doesn't really mean that. I'm going to save my boy here because I don't want our show to lose credibility. I don't want anybody to think that we don't know sports, that we don't understand. So that's what I'm saying, America. Donald's only joking with you when he says that Purdy threw 2 bad interceptions because he was concussed, okay? So, look, maybe it was a ploy by the 49ers to just say, hey, we're going to put him in a concussion protocol, somehow make the fan base feel like, hey, here's like Don just bought into that maybe this is the reason why they lost. So, who knows? It might have been a brass move by the Niners to do this. But at the end of the day, look, this is what I say. You know that your team is reeling when you're in a must-win situation. just like the Cowboys, right? We came off a win against the Patriots, but then obviously, we lost to the 49ers, and we had to, and the way we lost to the 49ers, we were in a must-win situation, right? Dallas has not lost 2 games in a row under the McCarthy administration, which is, kudos to Mike. He's never allowed the Cowboys to lose 2 in a row, at least in the last 2 years. Let me say in the last 2 years, okay? Because his first year without the pandemic year, and Dak got hurt, and it was a whole big mess. So, but anyway,
we're blaming the pandemic for the Cowboys losing multiple games.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of teams didn't get a chance to really prepare for their upcoming season in that pandemic year, and he was a new coach coming into a new system. And everything was new, and then Dak got hurt, in the 5th game of the season, and Cooper Rush took us the rest of the way, and it was a bad season for the Cowboys that year. But since then, Dallas has never lost 2 games in a row, and so we were able to bounce back last week in San Diego. I mean, I keep saying San Diego. I'm from the old school guys. They still are Chargers. They still San Diego to me. But the LA Chargers, we needed to win that game, much like the 49ers have to do this week. They got to beat the Bengals, because when you're in a must-win situation, that's when you know your team is willing, and they can't lose 3 in a row. And I know we'll talk a little bit about the preview. I'm going to pass it back to you, D, on the preview as we talk about the upcoming game this week. But last week's loss was a bad loss for the 49ers. It really was, because the Vikings are just a bad team right now. They really are. They're not really a good team, and no Jefferson at that. So to lose that game without Jefferson, and for them to light it up the way in which they did, it'd be one thing if it was like a little defensive battle and the offense for the Vikings struggled, and somehow a ball bounced this way, a fumble went that way, and they just had something to go their way, and they end up miraculously winning the game. But they looked very dominant against the 49ers in that defense. And so, they didn't look good, the Niners, that is. And that was against a bad Minnesota team without, again, a Justin Jefferson, a top 3 wide receiver in the league today. So you're a Niner fan, you got to be a little concerned. I don't think the Niners are, obviously now they're going to just plummet into just purgatory or whatever have you. But what I'm saying is that they got to be concerned. And you need this win against Cincinnati in order to still be a formidable, or at least a team that people perceive them to be, and that's a dominant team. So if they're not dominating, then we got to know what kind of team this 49er team is, because Purdy is starting to look a little bit more human now, and he's coming down to earth. And old Golden Boy is starting to feel it now. And he going to take his share of lumps as well. And I think that's what we're starting to see. So
we lost 2 games after winning 10 or 12 straight regular season games. Yeah. We lost 2 games by a combined 9 points, and now the sky is falling. Come on, Rod. Listen, let's be serious. Let's be serious.
Dallas can lose a quarter, and all of a sudden, everybody would just destroy the Cowboys and say how delusional our fans are and all this stuff, and now, and everyone would think, oh, Dallas is trash, Dak is trash, and Dak da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you the same thing. It's not over. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying the 49ers are over.
I think the Niners will be just fine. I think we will get right this week. I think Brock Purdy's in concussion protocol. He may not play. Sam Darnold, who before we got Sam Darnold, when we were talking about getting a backup quarterback, because we knew Jimmy G wasn't going to be there and it was going to be Brock Purdy, and there was a whole bunch of possibilities. I had also suggested perhaps Jameis Winston, but I also said Sam Darnold would be a good backup quarterback for the Niners. He's bigger. I think he possesses he's had bad situations. I'll say this. He was put in bad situations. But if you go back to his college years, he was a good quarterback. And I think in the right system, if he is able to process and get the ball out of his hands quickly, he can be effective. So I don't feel bad, or in any case feel like it hinders our chances to win based off the fact that Sam Darnold will probably be the starting quarterback. And now we're going into Cincinnati. We're back at home. We have Joe Burrow and the Bengals coming off of a bye. So we're going to see. They're 3-3. And so they're really in a must-win based on their division, because Baltimore has been balling out. Even with Cleveland, the ups and downs of Deshaun Watson, shoulder gate, wanting to play, not wanting to play. They're still winning games. So they're 3-3 now. So this is really a must win for them to get back in. Of course, the Steelers have been playing well. So the Steelers are, you think the Steelers are a good team?
I think the Steelers are good. I mean, they're
okay. So now they're a good team. We beat them week 1. They weren't a good team. Now they're a good team. So so that even boosts our quality of victories also.
They're competitive. They're not. Don't you dare try to put them in the category of the teams that you got coming up that you're going to play. Like, you got Jacksonville, you got Philadelphia, like you got some, even Seattle. I mean, they're not those teams. So don't try to slide the Steelers
I'm not
being like, that's a quality win, because it's really not a quality win. All right, the Steelers are they fight, they scrap. They're a formidable opponent to a degree, but they're not. They're still a team that your team should beat, which you did. So you're not getting any points for that. Sorry, D.
So I think we get back to our winning ways. I think the run game will be effective. CMC will be effective. Brandon Ayuk. I think Kittle will be effective. We're going to put some pressure on Joe Burrow, and we're going to see if that calf is really, if he's feeling 100%. We're going to try him. And I think from our standpoint, I mean, they have Jamar Chase. He's a great wide receiver, right? Yeah. T. Higgins is dealing with an injury, so he's not 100%, but no excuses. If he suits up, he plays. Hey, they got their team. They got Joe Mixon in the back in the running back position. So they have players around them. And I think it should be a good game. The spread initially when Brock Purdy was there, I think it was when it was expected that Brock Purdy was going to be playing, was like 7 points. It's gone all the way down to we're 3.5 point favorites. I like the Niners in this position. I think the Niners win by a field goal. I think it's a field goal game. And see, like I've said to you before, and if you remember, even with Minnesota, I said you're not going to blow them out. No. We're not going to blow them out. Right. I knew that it was going to be a closer game. Mm-hmm. I expected us to win. I'll say that, but I expected it to be within a field goal, less than a touchdown, and we were a touchdown favorite. And the fact that it didn't move was a little questionable to me. But I'm not going into the conspiracy with that. But I'll say this: I do think it's down to 3.5 points. Everybody is feeling Cincinnati. They're getting back because we know what they did out of a bye week last year. They got on a tear, but I think that tear is going to be impacted. I think they're gonna have a failure to launch with us. I think we're going to ball out. And I'll say this: look for Baltimore and Cleveland to lose this week. Watch those key games.
Okay.
Baltimore, it doesn't even matter who they play. Look for Baltimore, because Baltimore was dominant against Detroit last week.
Very much so. Yeah.
Look for them to lose this week because Cincinnati is going to lose. So the balance has to be maintained. What do you say?
I'd say this. I think this is going to be a close game. I do believe that. And I think what's shocking is that the Bengals haven't been able to run the ball this year. As good as their offensive line has become, and they got, what was it, Orlando Brown, I think it was, who they added to their team. I think this is a team that really needs to find some type of success. Now, and when I say success in running the ball, I mean, at least don't become one-dimensional and stick to the run. Now, they're only averaging like 70 yards rushing, 65 yards rushing a game, and they give up 180 yards on the ground. So this is a bad rushing team and a bad defensive team against the run. I think, though, if they're able to, because I think Burrow can definitely, light it up, which is your secondary. And Bosa has, and again, I know he has that at training camp. No, he hasn't had a lot of time to prep, in the off season and OTAs and so forth. But he only got 2.5 sacks so far through almost 7 games. So he's been kind of quiet this year. Haven't really heard a lot from Joey Bosa. Okay, but the thing is that what I believe is going to take place is that if Cincinnati can run the ball just enough, they don't need to dominate. But if they can get maybe at least 20 to 25 yards above their normal average, they will stand a chance to keep the Niners defense honest. And I think Burrow will have a good game against that secondary. Now, if you're the 49ers, you got to run the ball. And if you don't, and I believe Kyle Shanahan is going to lean on San Fran running the ball. You're still going to get a lot of CMC. You're still going to probably get some jet sweeps and different things like that. And they're going to definitely scheme some guys and do some type of what they love to do when they're pick and pull type runs and different things that their linemen shifting and moving. They're going to run the ball, and you can run on this defense. And so I think, and Darnold, they don't necessarily have to be safe with him because, he's an NFL quarterback. He's won some games in this league. So, he just didn't work out in the places he's gone to. But in all intents and purposes, we'll get a chance to see what he looks like with Kyle Shanahan, right, in a meaningful game. So if you're the Niners, you run the ball, you stand a chance. I do think the Niners will win this game. It's a must win, all right? But I do think they'll have to play, and I do think Darnold will play. I don't think that Purdy will play because if you're announcing protocols for concussions and stuff, they're not going to take a chance. He needs to at least sit out a week. So I think the Niners will pull it out, but it will be close. It will be close. It'll be very
all right.
close. And you don't want to get in a situation where Darnold has to win the game for you. So that's the thing you don't want. So, yeah, but I do think the Niners will come out on top.
So do you have a score for us?
Quick score, I would say 19 and a half. But not just kidding. I'll pick those odd numbers, right? No, I would say I got the Niners winning though this week. I got them winning 20. I'm gonna go 29. I'm gonna say 29. 29-25.
How do you get those? How do you get those scores? Is there? It's going to be a safety. How do you get that? How do you get to that score?
Well, you have 2-point conversions that you can get, and so you can somehow get those odd number endings like that. But yeah, and a safety could happen, but yeah. But I like that. I like the 29-25. I say the Niners will win by 4.
Okay, so they'll cover the spread.
They'll cover the spread. Yeah. What is the spread right now again? You said 3?
3.5.
3.5. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah.
I think they'll win. I think they'll win by a field goal. But okay, let's move on to the Cowboys versus the LA Rams.
Yeah.
I'll let you start this.
Oh, boy. Well, you know what, D? I would say this, right? As I'm looking at AD kind of flush and, okay, as an offensive foul on LeBron. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, all right, let me because
we're going to talk about the Lakers in a minute.
Yeah. We'll get to the Lakers in a second. We're actually down by 4 now. We was actually getting beat up pretty big. We cut the lead, though, cut into the lead. So, all right, big game for the Cowboys. Now, we've got, I think an 11-game winning streak against the Rams at home, okay? So we've owned them at home. But I'm not a big person on the historical stuff, right? Because you're talking 11 games, that's a long stretch. So a lot of these guys hadn't even played on those teams. But Dallas has played well at home this year. And we played well at home against the Rams, again, needless to say, with the 11-game win streak. However, they play a lot of zone. 77% of their defensive scheme in the secondary and their coverage, rather, is zone. Dak feast on zones. You play zone against Dak, he will annihilate you in zone. When you're in the zone coverage, Dak it's like stealing candy from a kid. Really, honestly, he plays very well against zone coverages. I am concerned though. However, our running game has been putrid all year long. It hasn't looked good. I think we gotta definitely get that going a little bit, but I think you got to go back to what you saw last week and sort of let Dak feel the game. I think McCarthy's got to let up a little bit and let Dak kind of just feel the game, because everything that Dak did last week that was good, it was because he improvised and he did his own thing. And I think you got to let Dak feel that game out and let him get into his rhythm, because he really looked like he enjoyed playing football last week. So I think you got to let Dak do his thing there. Their corners are actually not that bad, the Rams that is, but then from what my research is showing me, that their slot is that's where they could be compromised a little bit. So we just got to see how we can, we get CD in the slot. You can get, and I would kind of like to see Tolbert a little bit, and I like to see the tight ends do a little something. But I think we should we should win this game. I am concerned about their offense though. They've got receivers, as you know. Puka is the man, no question about it.
Tutu Atwell,
Atwell's
Cooper
got the
Kupp.
speed. Kupp
You're going to have
underneath.
some problems. Bland is going to be under pressure.
No, Bland will be fine. I think the corner that'll actually have the problems is going to be actually Jordan Lewis in the slot, because that's where you're going to have Kupp. Kupp makes a living in that slot a lot too. So you'll have Kupp in the slot, and Kupp can kill you with those crossing routes underneath, because he's going to be your underneath guy. You know what I'm saying? Atwell, that's speed. So you're going to make sure you got to have somebody over the top to cover him. And then, Puka's going to make the big play. He's your big play guy. And so we got our hands filled. But I think I'm more concerned because Bland has actually been playing. Well, Bland is actually top 5 PFF as far as his rating. Like, Bland is, if you go look it up and you look at his stats, he is really playing good football. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say he's as gifted as a corner as Diggs, but he has ball hawk. He's been leading the league in interceptions since since last year. So he can get around the ball. He's already got 3 interceptions this year. Got a pick 6. He can play. Now he can get turned around if he's definitely playing a good receiver. Like I said last week against the Chargers, if it wasn't for Herbert overthrowing Allen, we would have came out of that game with an L, no question about it. 2 big plays, and what you call missing because of the pass rush. So we're able to get to Stafford, who is interception prone, and he can make mistakes. And we know how Stafford can get when he's under pressure, and he's not mobile either, so he's not a Herbert. He can't get out the pocket. The heat comes, we get pressure on him, he's going to throw into some mistakes, and that's what we're hoping we can get him to do. But they're wideouts, no question. But they got no running game. Their top back is out. He's hurt. He's on the IR. So the guys that they got coming behind them, Dallas should be able to neutralize their running game, make them one-dimensional, get pressure on Stafford, and hopefully that should, pretty much neutralize whatever aerial threat that they got
Darrell Henderson, and he played pretty good last week. So he's not Karen Williams, and
he's not Williams.
They got a few people on IR, and everyone got hurt. But they picked up 2 players off the scrap heap, and they actually played pretty good. For the record, the Dallas Cowboys are 6-point favorites. Over-under is 45.5. So they're expecting some points to be scored.
Pretty high.
But I think Dallas. I'm tempted to put them on upset alert, but I'm not going to do it. I think Dallas. No, I'm putting them on upset alert.
Oh,
Dallas is on upset alert.
Oh Lord.
I think this game is going to be a lot closer than any 6 points. No. I think the Rams.
You just want us to lose because your Niners are under pressure. But go ahead.
No, listen,
go ahead.
We're leading our division. How are we under pressure all of a sudden?
Because
we're not under pressure. We're 5-2. You are. What's your record? 4-2.
4-2, and we'll be 5-2 when it's all said and done. And you'll be 5-3.
You have someone in your division that's 6-1. So you have more concern. You right now are a wild card team. And for the record, after our bad loss to Minnesota, we went from being the Super Bowl favorites to falling to 2nd. We're still 2nd in Super Bowl odds. So
I mean that's I don't think y'all would have lost your odds.
But you lost faith in us.
No,
you automatically now we're bottom feeders.
No, listen. Let me put it to you this way. Let's make this very clear. I have no faith in the 49ers. Now, if I pick them to win, I'm just picking them to win based on just having just a knowledge of the game, going by what I see, they're still a good team. So yeah,
Okay, then.
but there's no faith in them.
So
you know
we're
what I
not
mean?
in
Like,
a-
I could care less if they lose. I want them to lose.
At this point in the season, we need to win just to get back to what we normally do, is win. It's not a must win for us. Now, for us to drop 2 in a row, obviously we want to get
Don't
back
you
to our
want
winning
home field
ways.
Don't you want home field advantage? So
Yeah, of course.
All right, so it is a must win because if the Eagles continue to win, you're going to be a second seed, and then if you might have to go to Philadelphia again to get into a Super Bowl.
We'll handle that. This time, wherever we meet the Eagles, we're going to handle business.
I'm just saying, but you would rather that game in Levi Stadium, would you not, than going to Lincoln?
Yeah, because
Field?
I could go to the game. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would rather it be local.
That's your incentive. I mean, but my point is, you need to win this game. You got to run neck and neck with the. Listen, your division, you're going to win your division. You'll win.
So
your
what
division.
happens? So
But
I clearly, by what you're
saying.
saying, and I'm able to read through the tea leaves. You feel you want us to win so that you have a shot to win your division, because you know if we play the Eagles, the probability of us beating them is greater than you guys beating the Eagles.
Of course.
I
want the Eagles to lose anyway. I mean, of course. I mean, I want the Eagles to lose. But yeah, if y'all beat them or they lose some games along the way and we're able to win our division, absolutely.
You play them in 2 weeks, right? So
we got them in a couple weeks.
Stop asking other people to do what you should be doing. Your team should be winning.
We will.
Don't try to. Don, can you do this for us?
Eagles. No, but I mean, look, I'm not looking for y'all to make it. I'm not looking for no favors or no handouts because we will beat the Eagles. We could beat. I told you we ain't worried about the Eagles.
A football soup kitchen. You're looking for a handout, and we're not giving handouts.
No,
we're going to play.
We will handle our own business. We will handle our
business.
Okay,
good, as you should.
But when y'all play the Eagles, we still want. But listen, if the Eagles can take an L, and if they could get another L on there, I'm gonna take it. I ain't gonna turn it down and say no. Don't beat them because we want to prove that we can beat them ourselves. No, we'll beat them ourselves, and we still want them to lose some games.
Of course, absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Let me get a score from you for the Rams and Cowboys.
Dallas, I'm going Dallas 30, 31. I'm going 31. 31-20. Actually, 31-23.
Dallas, 31 points?
Yeah, we could score on them. Their defense is not that great.
Jesus. That means the defense is really gonna your offense ain't putting up no 31 points. You're expecting Micah Parsons to have an unworldly game because your offense has not shown that you guys can put up 31 points.
We can put up 31 points, D. That ain't no problem. Dallas.
Have you done it this year so far? Have you done? I don't care what you.
You mean our offense? I mean, not games we've had.
Offense, yeah, your offense.
But yeah, no. I mean, we can do that. I mean, okay.
That's a lot of pressure on the defense. That's a lot of pressure. 31 points because your offense is.
Points. Yeah, we can. We can score 31 points. Dallas can score 31 points. Okay. Their defense is not that great. I mean, they allow 220 yards in the air, which isn't actually bad. Okay, we allow 192. They allow 117 rushing yards. Okay, now and we actually average 119, so we average 2 yards better than what they allow.
That equals 30 points.
No, well, I mean, we average nearly 350 yards in total offense. We can score. I mean, Dallas can still score points, and we have a really good kicker. So even if we get a lot of field goals in between that, we can still put up points. Now we're just not that good in the red zone, but we can score. You don't think Dallas offense is capable of scoring 30 points, D? Are you
How
crazy?
The mighty have fallen.
Oh my God!
You brought up a kicker. You brought up a kicker when you're trying to get to the Super Bowl?
What's wrong? You don't think a kicker's important? Ask the Patriots if the kicker's important, the Super Bowl wins. You don't think a kicker's important?
Listen.
You want to ask Moody? You want to ask
game 8?
Y'all would have one less loss
week
if Moody could kick a field goal.
In week 8, you're talking about?
You hear that, nutso? The boy here says he owes me. He owes me.
Listen, you have a $40 million quarterback. Please do not talk about any kicker to win a game. You said,
didn't
well,
say-
even if
I didn't
our
say win.
offense
I
isn't
said
good,
that's
we have a
adding
good
points.
kicker.
You don't think kickers add points? Kickers add points.
To
A good
fantasy
kicker-
teams, yes. To
No,
fantasy
but
football,
that adds-
I
that
want
still
my
adds-
kicker to be good. But in real life, the kicker should just be kicking extra points. Not, you shouldn't be banking on your team winning and losing based off a kicker.
No, I didn't say that though. See, you stretching the narrative. You said,
said
Dallas
we
can't
have a
score
real-
30 points a game. I said Dallas can easily score 30 points. We would have number
No,
one
no.
offense
That's
last
not what
year.
you said. You said, this is what you said. I said Dallas, I said that's a lot of pressure on the defense because the offense has not shown that they can score points. You said we can score points, and even if we don't, we have a good kicker. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous take. You should
No,
not
I
be
said we
in
have a
week
good
8.
kicker that can score points in between. us
No one's
scoring.
in between.
I
What's
said
in
that, I
between?
promise you. Go back. Listen. Oh my God. Is
I'm
there
gonna
any
watch
tech-
this
ask the
show again.
producer
You
if
did
there's any
not say in
technology where we can
between.
rewind alive. If we can rewind the
No,
record,
rewind
I'm
a
telling
lie.
you,
That's what it
America,
rewind a
if
lie.
there
You
is
know
someone-
live.
you know what?
Live.
If somebody was with us right now on this live,
He said,
they would be able to
a
rewind this
good
live,
kicker.
and they will be able
Listen,
to show you.
I'm gonna
that
clip
I
this
said in
section.
between.
Don't worry about it. It will be
Clip- yeah,
posted
I want
tomorrow.
you to
I'm
clip
gonna clip it.
Yeah,
and
clip
when
it.
I'm not gonna
And you will
edit
see.
anything.
You
You
don't edit
said
nothing. Let
we
it go.
have a good kicker.
You have a
Even
good kicker.
we can score points and even
yeah.
and we have a good kicker. You should in week 8, you should not be bringing up your kicker. You shouldn't be talking about field goals. It's touchdowns. That's the problem. That's why your
D.
red zone efficiency is in the garbage. Because instead of
It's
touchdowns,
only in the garbage
you
because we
kick
don't have a
field
tight
goals.
end. It's because we don't have a legit tight end that knows
You
how
got
to
3 of them.
find.
You got 3 of them, and you let a good
can't
one
find
leave.
spots. Well, we couldn't afford them. I mean, what Schultz wanted. I mean, remember, we still got other guys we got to pay. You know, so I mean, we had to sacrifice something.
And
Listen,
so-
you're gonna
and
run through the
somebody
same
said-
thing too when
And
it's time.
somebody said
people to
that
get
you
paid.
guys, there's been talk on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, that you guys are in the market for Derrick Henry. You guys ain't getting no Derrick Henry.
We're not in the market for that. I mean, that's what
They're
everybody.
not in the
expects.
market
That's
for
saying that's
anything.
what people think we should do. But that's
Jerry
not
Jones
gonna
has everybody he's doing a press conference in the Star on the 50-yard line, people all around him for what? This is just a gimmick.
do. Well, you know,
Your team is not about winning anything. And as long as Jerry Jones holds court and talks about, well, yeah,
I would agree with that. No, I would agree with that. But Jerry said he's not. He said, look, I'm not. They're not going to initiate any trades. If they would entertain some, but he said he wouldn't entertain.
Does that make
He said
sense?
he likes what he has. Well, here's what I would tell you, and this is where here's a knock on my team in this sense. I would like us to make a trade, right? A nice splashable kind of trade.
Time is running out.
It is, but the problem is, I would rather we get a trade. I'd rather do it on the defensive side, not on the offensive side, because the truth is, Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer wouldn't know what to do with it. They wouldn't know what to do with new toys. You bring any offensive
victories
assets to that side, it would be a mess. Quinn, I trust
your
Quinn
victories
to know how
this
to use
week.
guys.
Your victories this season has been based off the offense or the defense?
It's been definitely more the defense. Absolutely.
Okay, so the defense is good. You need offensive players. You need
we
help
got
with the
weapons, but
offense.
we don't need players. We need to know how to use them. If we knew how to, we actually ran a jet sweep that went for about 14 yards with Brandon Cook, and we just figured out that we can actually use him that way in week 7. Like it just doesn't week 6 rather. It didn't make sense. Like we don't know because McCarthy
He's been used like that on every team he's been on.
Right, but except Dallas. But we only did that. We actually used him in a jet sweep. Here it is. My point is 6 weeks into the season, it's like, oh, why don't we use Cooks in a jet sweep? Why don't we put Turbin in motion and run a wheel route? You know what I'm saying? And get a touchdown against the 49ers. Like, you got speed. We haven't even thrown the ball down the field to Cook, hardly. We don't
Why did
know
you
how to
say
use,
that? Why did you bring up the
wheel
touchdown
route?
against the 49ers?
Because that was a really good play.
And then what else did you guys do?
Well,
Was that the highlight of the game? Is that why you brought it up?
look,
Because it was the highlight? That was the only touchdown
honestly,
you guys scored?
The point I was making is that because that was the only highlight we had, it just
That was the only
buttresses
highlight.
my point that how unimaginative our offense is. So I'm saying to you, we don't need another offensive player. We got enough weapons. Look at CeeDee. CeeDee had to whine and cry to just and pout to get the ball. And you see what happens when he gets the ball. Like, use your guys. You got good weapons on your offense. You got guys. Put Pollard in the slot. Get him out wide. We are one of the last teams in the league in motion offense. We don't do anything. Dak was actually in shotgun for most of the game against the Chargers, and it worked effectively because, again, McCarthy has no clue. He wants to go back to 1970 football. He's archaic in his schemes. So that's
he is trying to quantum leap back to when you guys were a good team. Was it those 70s? He's trying to recapture, because you guys have not really been good for a while. So he is trying to.
Haven't been good in a while. Who hasn't been good in a while? I mean, Dallas hasn't been good in a while. Dallas has been.
Regular season, you guys are okay. Regular season, you guys are okay. What are you guys in the postseason? How have you been over the last?
We won a game last postseason. We won in the last, under the Jason Garrett era and through Mike McCarthy era. We beat Detroit. We beat Seattle.
You beat Tampa Bay.
We beat Tampa Bay, right? So those are the three wins that we've gotten.
And so McCarthy's been the coach. Garrett has been the coach. How long was Garrett a coach?
10.
Over 10 years, right?
Not
10 years?
Exactly 10 years, yeah.
Okay, so in 10 years, and then McCarthy's been the head coach for how long?
3. This is his 4th year.
So 13 years, 3 playoff victories. Okay, sounds good.
No, I mean, listen.
Impressive.
I can't refute that. What am I going to say? I can't say.
But when I said you guys haven't been good in the postseason, you refuted it.
No, you said we haven't been good. No, you just said we haven't been good. Like as if we've been like the Lions for the last 20 years. No, Cowboys have been always competitive, and we've been division winners for a good amount of years. You know what I'm saying? Dallas has always, we've been good. We've been good. We've always been, since Dak, in the Romo years, we were still good and formidable. Always went down to the last game of the season to either make the playoffs, or we got in the playoffs and we couldn't prevail. I mean, we just been, it's just the way Dallas is, man. Bad coaching, unimaginative coaching. Jerry likes to pick guys that he can, kind of run and control, right? So I mean, you're right, and look, I'm not saying look, Jerry Jones, as long as he's there, Dallas doesn't win. Now, of course, I'm not wishing anything bad on the man. I know he's getting up in age or anything like that. I'm not wishing anything bad like that on him, but I do think that, we just, he just, he just can't win on them. He's a bad GM in a sense where.
Are you suggesting that he needs to?
You know what? Let me go back to
Whoa, man. What are you suggesting happens to Jerry Jones, man?
Dude, man. Oh, Lord.
Okay.
No, I'd suggest he steps down, but that's not going to happen. He's not
going to step down, so he can step up. He can go, like, if he can't.
You know what?
Yo, step down or step into the light. Yo, I can't believe you as a Cowboys fan is suggesting that Jerry Jones needs to.
No, I'm not saying that. I did not say, Donald, when we do these late night lives, I notice for some reason, he exaggerates my points. I noticed that.
A little bit.
I'm not saying that the man should die and leave the earth in order for us to win a Super Bowl, but no, he's just, Jerry he'll be there until he's there, and that's it. That's all we can say. That's all I can tell you, man. Dallas is not, it's going to be hard. Yeah, because we can't get a coach. We can't get the kind of coach. We'll never hire a Kyle Shanahan type coach or McVay.
No,
McVay, those kind of guys, or even a Dan Campbell, who's a hard-nosed guy, kind of like, you could tell he's still like a strong-willed personality type person. Mm-hmm. Jerry would never hire anybody like that. Milk toast cats like, McCarthy and Garrett, what I'm saying? Tote the line type of guys. They're not going to.
Tote the line. That's befitting. Tote the line. Let's talk about the NBA season has started. That's very exciting.
Yes, it has.
Okay. And we had the opening with your Los Angeles Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets. Now, there was a lot of back and forth between LeBron James, Anthony Davis, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. LeBron was quoted as saying, "Hey, I'm on vacation, minding my business." and you guys are talking about me. Enjoy your time in the sunshine. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm the sun, S-U-N, right? And so that he had his opportunity. Yesterday was your opportunity. The day before yesterday was your opportunity to show them that you're the sun, S-U-N. But instead of being the S-U-N, you were the S-O-N. You were the sun. And they sunned you. And Denver just picked up where they left off. I mean, now I'm going to give LeBron James credit. Last game he played in a sweep, he scored 40 points, right? So LeBron James balled out. He looked really good.
He did.
He played.
He did.
But the problem
the whole season
is
last year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for it to be his 20th season, highly impressive. No other player has ever played as long at a higher level than LeBron James.
Absolutely.
But he can't do it alone. And I'm not, it's a fact. And Anthony Davis, as long as because Anthony Davis was like, yo, they was talking trash and we gonna show them. What was Anthony Davis' stat lines? How many rebounds did he have? And how many points did he score in the second half? Now, which one of those players is going into their 21st year? Is it Anthony Davis or is it LeBron James? It's understandable that LeBron James, to preserve him, we got to preserve it. To preserve him, he should only be playing 30 minutes or less. They're keeping him on like 29 minutes. Anthony Davis is supposed to be the young buck that just signed a max deal. Why are you allowing the team that you were supposed to be getting some get back with to abuse you? It was really embarrassing. I had to shut the TV off. It was embarrassing. And I said, this is unbecoming of a Lakers team. As good as the Lakers have been historically, this is embarrassing. And I thought about you. I thought about a lot of Laker fans. I thought about you guys. We got to have compassion for people. And I really felt for you guys. And I was like, you've given this team your loyalty. You have been a fan of this team, and this is what they do. This is how they show you that they're prepared for this season. They go and they play the Denver Nuggets, and they allow Denver to continue to embarrass them. It's sad. It's sad, man. I know it's game one, but you had all year. Yeah. This was a game that was supposed to be circled, right? But you knew that you were playing Denver Nuggets. You knew that the Denver Nuggets, when you were on the coast of France somewhere and they were talking smack about you, you said that you were going to get them back. This was your opportunity.
And we will. And we will at some point. We'll have another crack. I mean, you act like we lost in the playoffs. It was a one and done, like it was the play-in or something. Or we was, I mean, it's game one. Like nobody, honestly speaking, if the truth be told, even for the teams that won in their first game of the season, it's nothing to measure. You can't measure nothing by it. You can't have any true evaluation of game one in the NBA. You can't even do it in the NFL, and it's far less games played in the NFL, right? Where games each week is more critical than the week prior in the NFL, and you still can't even put credence in game one, whether you win or lose. So in the NBA season with 82 games, nobody really cares. Like, okay, Denver won. They, it was the night they got their rings. They're still the best team in basketball. Everybody knows it. Jokic, nobody's stopping Jokic. It don't matter. Week 1, game 57, game 69. It doesn't matter. Jokic is Jokic. We have no answer for him at the end of the day. Now, would I've liked to see the Lakers put up a better showing? I mean, the game was pretty much over in the first quarter, right? I would have liked to see them put up a little better fight. But
you don't have an answer for Gordon either, for that matter, because Gordon
I mean, even KCP with 20-something points. I mean, off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it was bad. It was a bad outing for the Lakers, no doubt. But I mean, I'm not like, if anything, I'm a little more upset about tonight. I mean, we're struggling against the Phoenix Suns, a team that pretty much has like nobody out there. Like you and I are right now playing out there. You know what I mean?
What is the score right now?
You're a better baller than I am, but I'm just saying.
What's the score right now? Because I know with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker not playing, the Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers should be blowing them out. It shouldn't be close.
No, it should.
just got
actually no. Phoenix is actually
you
winning.
just got you just have KD out there, right? And let you tell it, KD's not a great player. So certainly,
I did not say he was not a great. He's not. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Okay, my bad.
See,
My bad.
in the late night hours,
he's not a great.
Like in the late night hours, you start changing up
player.
stuff. You said he's not a great player.
No,
yet Kevin Durant is making it competitive with at least one all-time great in LeBron and Anthony Davis, who arguably should be top 5, top 10 in the league. This game shouldn't be competitive.
No.
Anthony Davis
what did we
and
say?
Watanabe. Watanabe is balling out. Like, I don't understand how this game is competitive.
We said something when we did, and in America, we definitely going back into this as the NBA season continues to go forth, right? But D, we said good, superstar, right? And then we said great. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I believe that. You had like 10 of them. I lost. After the 6th tier, I was out of it. You lost me on the 6th tier. I think Kevin Durant is a great player. He's great. LeBron is a great player.
Yeah, they're not in the same category though. No, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was just those 4. So no, he's a superstar. He's not great. But yeah, tonight he's leading a bunch of guys.
A YMCA team. He is beating the Lakers with a YMCA team.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So what do you think he can do? What do you guys think your team can do? Now, you can't, it's the first game. You can't really, but this game was another game that circled because LeBron and Kevin Durant haven't played each other in 5 years, right? Something crazy.
Because somebody always stays hurt. So
if someone's hurt, whatever.
Yeah.
So
because it's not LeBron. Yeah.
I think a few of those times, LeBron had he had a growing pole or something. It hasn't all been Kevin Durant, but 5 years. It's all KD has been hurt for 5 years every time they play.
Hey, KD is hurt almost. KD, how many games did he play in Brooklyn? What, like 10?
He
10
played
games? Maybe 11
games. That's cool. But when he played, for the Warriors, how did that work out? So don't act like they were both injured.
Yeah, well, that's when they had pretty much their battles. I don't even remember LeBron playing KD when he was in Brooklyn. Honestly, I don't even remember. Now, I could be drawing a mean blank right now in my brain, but I don't even remember.
LeBron didn't play. LeBron didn't play. He didn't. He sat it out. I think he was injured. Honestly, I think he was injured,
LeBron has missed.
Maybe it was a back-to-back
in the latter part of the career. Yeah,
he sits out some of them, and.
But I think
the Lakers, there's still no excuse for them losing to a team missing 2 of their star players. I mean, Bradley Beal. I don't understand how the season started, and Bradley Beal is he's on the sideline with the Gordon Gartrell already. Like, they traded for you. Where are you at?
I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, that shirt was nice.
I didn't know he was out tonight until
he was out game 1.
He didn't
play game 1. They were showing him on the sideline. He had, he had the nice shirt on. I'm like, yo, they need you. What are you doing? This is game 1. Yes, and I understand you got 81 games left, but they brought you here to be, and I mean, they handled business. They didn't need him. And then Devin Booker, who was questionable going into game 1, he toughed it out and balled out. They won. And the Lakers, I thought, given the fact that Devin Booker, and it's halftime, there's still a chance for the Lakers to come back. But it shouldn't be competitive, right? This game should have really, with one player that's not a superstar versus all-time great top 10 player and Anthony Davis and all of these pieces that they brought together to really combat and beat Denver. It shouldn't be competitive with one player.
The Lakers compromise defense, though. I think the guys that we have, and then Vanderbilt is out too now. I don't know when he's coming back. So that's a huge loss for us defensively. Vando Vando
Who needs LeBron and AD when you're missing Vando?
Yo, Vando is a factor, man. He's a factor.
Foolish.
His defense is key.
I'm foolishly looking for LeBron and what his status is in the game, and Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves, and I'm looking for those players.
Reeves,
but I gotta look at
Vando.
Vando. If Vando's playing, that's how I can determine how the Lakers are gonna fare against teams if Vando plays.
Well, yeah, because Vando, what he brings defensively is key, and plus he plays your best defenders. You know what I mean? Plus he's a good lane defender. He can play your the other team's best wing. Like Vando is
that's your Royce O'Neal. That's your Royce O'Neal. Remember Royce O'Neal? How ridiculous that statement was about you really ridiculed me when I brought up Royce O'Neal and some of the other
TJ Warren. That's when you wanted to do a whole show on TJ Warren. You did.
I didn't bring up no TJ Warren.
You did. You was like, yo, you had that. Yo, America, this dude wanted to do a full-blown documentary on TJ Warren. Right. He wanted to actually go through his timeline of his life story on one of these shows for TJ Warren. I was like, D, we are not going to talk about
TJ Warren. This is your life.
Yeah.
We wasn't doing that. We wasn't doing that. But I'll say this, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Lakers, so our next show, if the Lakers happen to lose this game and it's just Kevin Durant, the show is going to be painful next show. It's going to be painful. I don't care if it's only 2 games into the season. You cannot lose when it's just one player versus your full team minus Vando. I forgot Vando is a superstar. But you can't lose. If you have Anthony Davis and you have LeBron James playing, you can't lose to just Kevin Durant.
No,
End of story.
You can't. You can't. I totally agree with you. I don't disagree.
It's inexcusable
at all. Yeah, this will be like y'all losing in Minnesota. It is. It's a bad loss.
Why are we talking? We're done with the football segment.
We ain't talking about the Nets having an L either, but we going.
Yeah, we lost. We lost. We did lose. It was a tough one. We lost pretty much a buzzer beater.
Be a lot of that.
We lost by 1 point. I think there was some questionable calls in Jacques Vaughn, the way because Cam Thomas, if he's hot like that, why are you taking him out? I realize that you want to. Sometimes they do substitutions, defense for offense. But if he's hot, you work around him and you keep him in, because if there's a turnover and he's already hot, you can't.
Yeah,
it was questionable.
I didn't see the game itself, and I just got the package today actually for the NBA. So
nice.
I'm gonna catch some of the other games and particularly your Nets. I gotta see. Yeah. I just really wish that KD and Kyrie stayed together and worked it out, because I really would have, liked to see what would have happened, with them there, So
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't. I think that is a subtle shot, and we're getting ready to wrap up the show, but I can't believe the producer. Listen,
I'm just saying. I just want to see what life would have been like with you guys. But
we're looking to hire a new production team.
We got to look at like
we're going to scour for a new production team, because the producers are putting up stuff that they shouldn't be putting up. But it's okay.
The producers are doing what they should do. Don't nothing wrong with the producers. You shout them out faithfully after every show because they do a good job, and so that's just.
I'm just
saying that, the Nets. I'll just the Nets.
There will be a production meeting after this show. For sure. I'm going to talk to the producers after this show.
Oh God!
But it's okay. It was failure to launch. There was so much potential, it didn't happen. We're running out of time. Our next show, we're going to talk about former Laker Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Dwight Howard and
Lord. Yeah, Dwight, man.
Listen.
Dwight, and then just shut up. Don't even.
Yeah, just live your life, man. If that's what you do, that's what you do, man. But
oh God, man.
I think
that's just
I think he wants to. Some people like to be in discussion, want to trend, and it doesn't always have to be for the positive reasons, right?
Right.
So he's just trending, and I guess he's calling himself trolling people, but you're the butt of the joke. At the end of the day, people like I get this, and I will say this: it is his business who he wants to be with, right? It really isn't anybody's business. It's his business, right?
Right.
But at some point, I mean, he has some serious allegations levied against him at this point. And I don't know where that's going to go, but he's out of the league. So this is not anything that's going to affect his NBA career. I don't think any teams, I mean, in Taiwan, he's dropping 85 points and 75 rebounds and 15
guys
blocks.
That are like,
that are turpentine.
Yeah.
You know, that everyone is turpentine.
See,
Deuce Vaughn, he's playing a team first full of Deuce Vaughns. And so he can ball out like that. But I think this is potentially going to prevent him from ever coming back into the NBA.
No, yeah,
whether it's true or not, it's a wrap.
He's done.
I think he still has something in the tank, honestly, to be honest.
No, I think he still can ball. Yeah, he could definitely.
And we're finding out he has something in the tank. All right, we gotta wrap the show.
No more late night shows for Brooklyn.
We can't do late shows, man, because late shows. Listen, it's
we can't do late shows.
It's
man.
Brooklyn Beards and Ball after dark.
But
but in any case, man, I'm glad we got the show out of the way. We had a schedule conflict for this weekend, so we gave you guys an early show. And if there's anything that comes up between now and the weekend, we will address it individually or collectively. But I appreciate it. Shout outs to Kingdom Creative. We have
Donna wants to fire.
No, we're in search for a new production team, and we will have a production meeting right after this show.
Worry.
But shout out to Kingdom Conductive.
I'm holding you down.
Kingdom Creative. I'm sorry for this. Yeah, that's gonna sum up the meeting. And shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. You hear this music?
Yes.
The music that we get, let me just say this real quick. Our production team is top notch.
It is.
This is the calm before the storm. After the cameras go off, it's going to be a whole nother story. But while I'm on camera, I'm going to say the production team is top notch. They put up with a lot of stuff, our personalities, and we're able to make a successful show. And now I want to talk about the music. Music by Infinite Audio. This music, and I'm not exaggerating, these are all original tracks. This music is the same music that's on ESPN, NBA TV, different shows on Netflix and HBO.
Yeah.
My boy makes these beats. Shout out to Infinite Audio. You can search him out on all of the social media platforms. But we get first dibs. He's like,
we do.
Malika, hold on, Malika Andrews, hold on. Let me give it to my boys first. Kendrick Perkins, hold that. Let me give it to my boys first. Let me see what they want. And then sometimes things that make it to the cutting room floor, they make it to NBA TV. So
that's true.
We're really fortunate to have these people in our lives to help us put forth a really great show. We hope that you enjoy it. Please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. We appreciate all of the comments. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Please share. And until next time.
Peace.